How you doing today? Welcome to This is Potty Talk Live. We're going to take it into the crawl spaces, the basements, the kitchens and baths all around the world to talk to plumbing pros just like you. Hey, I'm Richard Behney, the $1 Million Plumber, coming to you live from Command Central here in Indianapolis, Indiana. And we're going to be going shortly here to talk to a cool cat out of the Big D. The Big D, and I don't mean Dayton. For those of you from the Midwest here, Dayton, Ohio. And we're talking about the Big D, Dallas. All right, so look forward to talking to our special guest here. Before we bring him in and on, hey, I got something for you here. If you're a guy that's looking to do your own thing, all right, you got your plumbing license, you got your plumbing truck, and you got your plumbing dream, and you're ready to take over the plumbing world, hey, there's some things you got to know, all right? And I want to get it into your hands, all right? I want you to know these things, all right? I want you to get my free report, the 7 must-knows to be $1 million plumber, all right? And the key word there was free, all right? It's free. No strings attached. There's no cash, nothing like that. It's free to you, but you got to know these 7 things, all right? So the 7 must-knows to be $1 million plumber, simply type in free in the comments. That's F-R-E-E, and I'll get that report right out to you, all right? Just do it, all right? You got to know these things. If you're serious about doing your own thing, you got to know these things to start with, all right? So the 7 must-knows to be $1 million plumber. Type free in the comments, and I'll get that right out to you. All right, hey, let's get our guest on. I'm anxious to get our guest on here. We got a cool cat out of Dallas, Texas, Mr. Mark Carrasco with Cathedral Plumbing. Hey, Mark, how you doing, man?
Good. How about yourself?
Hey, good. Good to see you. So how are things in the Big D today?
Things are going, man. It's a great market. We're excited. And
yeah.
Now that the ice storms are over, we're starting to do some plumbing again.
Ice storms in Dallas? For real?
Nobody knows that. It's like the long secret of this part of the country.
Oh, man. So, so you had ice storms here. Well, I guess I was just looking at the map, sweetheart. I was just looking at the map. Yeah, they have some kind of cold front coming through, whatever here. So I must have hit, yeah. Is that common there in Dallas? I'm sorry. We're kind of going off the cuff here, but that kind of strikes me.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it's actually, I just moved here in January. We used to live here before, but I moved back here in January, took a job offer with this company. And I got here, it was 6 degrees the first week and ice storms, and it was cold as heck.
Really?
I moved from Phoenix, so my blood's not used to that kind of weather.
I can't imagine that because the last time that we were in Dallas, when we were in Dallas with the lovely Laura here, it was in August, and I thought we were going to die.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved the area.
One extreme to the other, man.
Oh man, but it was blazing hot, you know. But cool. All right, man. So you're with Cathedral Plumbing. So what do you do with Cathedral Plumbing?
So we just launched a service department. We're one of the largest, if not the largest, new construction company here in Dallas-Fort Worth area. We'll do about $50 million in new construction this year, residential. And man, just trying to. The owner's been a great friend of mine for about 10 years. He knows that new construction market isn't going to hold out forever, so he wants to be prepared. We launched the service department in January of this year. We're at 5 plumbers right now and 1 sales guy. So. We're moving fast, and we plan on being at 10 guys by the end of this year.
There we go. Dedicated. You're doing it. Jumping in. All right. People, honestly, I love all aspects of plumbing. I've done it all. But service, in my opinion, that's when I've been the most successful was with service.
Sure.
And, it's immediate cash flow, lots of customers, and, it's just different. So
it is. And I'm blown away. I'm like you. I only know service. I don't know any part of our new construction side, but I've learned a lot, to be honest with you, in this first 3 months. I mean, they get paid weekly. I didn't know that. I thought it was 45, 60, 90 days out. And our builders pay us weekly.
Really?
I was surprised. I was blown away to hear some of these things that on the service side you never know or think about,
So someone set something up pretty good there. That's not the common thing, on the building side of things, because
he's got a strong business model.
There we go. Cash is king, ain't it? Cash is king. So what's is your favorite service, or what kind of service you like to do? What's
Well, from the manager standpoint now, I mean, anything high margin job, right? So
there we go.
Repairs,
right.
lab leaks. I hear a lot of guys say water heaters, and I cringe. I want the high margin jobs as a
even higher
manager, and and high close percentage jobs. So I try to get in the ground as much as I can. And whether that's a slab leak or a sewer line, those are all great calls for me.
Oh man, yeah, it's bringing back some memories here. In fact, I just spoke with a little buddy, a little earlier, and just spent a day on a slab leak, and it just it went a little rough on him, but there's good margins in that kind of work, if you price them out right. So
Sure.
are you a flat rate guy or?
I am, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. No, we're a flat rate company. Yep, and a true flat rate company too. I mean, we manage our efficiencies, and we manage a lot of those things that the true flat rate companies around the country are actually watching. We go off a billable hour. We don't just put a price up in front of the customer. So we're a true flat rate company. We don't pay commission. We pay billable hours plus a spiff. So
okay,
we tend to follow the traditional flat rate system. Yep.
There we go. So what advice would you have? We were talking in the green room before we started here, and I'm talking with some young guns who are just starting out, and they're considering whether to go time and material or flat rate. What, in your experience, what advice do you have that you can lay out there to tell them what kind of simply how to consider the two?
So technically, a flat rate company ends up being cheaper than a time and material company. They just don't know that. The problem is that time and material companies, they don't charge for all of their, unpredictable time. Sorry about that. My daughter just called right in the middle of this.
Oh, that's good.
So there's a lot of unpredictable time is what I like. All of the travel time, the collecting your inventory, right? Turning in paperwork. You could go to a service call. You could spend 10 minutes with the customer, or you could spend 2 hours. So you can't predict that time. And if a true time and material company was charging for all of that unbillable time, they actually would end up being more expensive than a flat rate company. Mm-hmm. The flat rate really protects the homeowner, protects the company. That's the ways, and that's why we chose to do it. But the problem with the time and material guys is they really only charge for the time that they pull the tools off their truck, and then no one ends up paying for all of that unpredictable time, and they end up being cheaper. But that's only because they're not charging for all the things that they need to be charging for. Exactly.
Well said, guys. Hope you're listening. Mark just laid out, a pretty big nugget of gold right there for us. 95%, when I talk to these guys, 95% of all plumbing businesses fail within the first 3 years. And it's not because the guys aren't good. I mean, there's amazing guys that just look at plumbing and it fixes itself, because they're scared.
They're better plumbers than me, I'm sure.
Right. I mean, I
know that.
We met those guys, and it's they just don't know the business side of things. These kinds of things, losing money, not accounting for all their time, all their expenses, and that stuff will just kill you.
Yeah. There's a lot of inefficiencies in the service side that you really have to manage. There's more, 66, 65, 70% of your day is inefficient time. And you focus on that 30% of the time, and you're really missing the boat on the majority of your day that is inefficient time. And it's a killer, man.
It's right. That clock is still always the clock is still ticking, and you're still paying for that fuel bill and the electric bill.
Correct.
And even your own salary, that kind of stuff. So, man, that is so right. Man, good information there. So, well, what's your, you've been around the block, so you've seen some things. We were talking, you've seen some things. Give us a story. Tell us, something crazy that you've seen, or something that you thought was going to just eat you up.
Yeah. I mean, oh, geez. It's just, there's so many of those crazy stories. I mean, some of the worst. I mean, I moved here to Dallas in 2006, and I lived here for 8 years. And I'll tell you, man, plumbing in the part of the country that you live in, I respect you guys a lot, because the short time that I lived in a cold part of the country and fixing broken water mains out, New Year's Eve, and it's 17 degrees outside it's not what I had signed up for originally when I was a kid. So you guys have a tough job up in that part of the country that you live in, man.
Hey, everyone's got it tough. I don't know how these guys, I talk to you guys that work down in that heat.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how you do it. That's the heat about just, killed me. So, certainly no matter where you're at, you talk to the guys, I got our Aussie brothers, you hear stuff from them, and I don't know how they live with the critters and that kind of stuff. And, and just all over, plumbing can be rough wherever, where
is. I'll tell you, probably the most surprising thing recently is in this part of the country, because of the foundation issues, you can't jackhammer a slab and reroute it. That doesn't work here. You can't reroute it as easily because there's freezing issues up in the attic. So what they do is they dig a 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot deep hole on the outside of the house, and they dig a tunnel. They literally dig a 3 foot by 3 foot wide tunnel all the way into the house to fix a slab leak. So you literally could go 40 feet into this house to fix a slab leak, and it's 3 days of digging, and it's 15 minutes of work, and then another 2 days to put all the soil back. So,
it's
the craziest thing I've ever seen.
So that is pretty good. I bet there's some good margins in that. So I could see what you're.
A lot of labor. So yeah, that's
Hey, just an inside little question there. Does insurance cover, like in our area? Insurance will cover everything except the exact plumbing repair. So, slab leak takes us about a day. It depends on where it's at. Mm-hmm. But insurance will cover the locate, jackhammering the things up, material, cleaning, the cleanup, cement, all that kind of stuff. But everything except, replacing the section of pipe or whatever, doing the repair, which is, is not it's a little part of the job.
It is.
Is it that kind of the same way there?
It is. It is same here. So the insurance companies got smart years ago, and they, there's a lot more loopholes for them to get out of covering slab leaks now.
Okay.
But when they do cover them, it's pretty much the exact same coverage that you're talking about. So a slab leak here could be $15,000 in a minute, and they pay for all that excavation and putting the soil back. So it's not uncommon to have a $17,000 slab leak repair.
Okay, I see why now. You got me stuttering. I see why now you like this. Okay, I get it. All right, man. So, all right. Hey, let me see what else we have here. Kind of got me off my track here a little bit. Yeah. I got to think. Right.
You want to start another plumbing?
I know. I was just thinking. I was going to come up with something kind of snarky to say, and my wife's laughing at me because she caught me thinking, knowing what it was. Because like, man, I
already ordered a moving truck. I can see.
Right. I would be Mr. Slab Leak Plumber. So there's some news for you guys right there. All right. Hey, on that, let's get back on track. Hey, what has you? I'm kind of blushing a little bit here. I'm feeling the heat a little bit because I was actually thinking I need to get back into that.
Yeah.
I could do that all day long. So, all right. Hey, yeah. What's that?
I don't like the Cowboys.
You don't like the Cowboys? The lovely Laura says she doesn't like the Cowboys. So we're not sorry.
My wife is.
We just lost fan.
Die hard.
Okay, there we go.
My daughter too, man. I'll tell you.
Oh man.
You either love them or hate them, so I'm okay with that.
So, hey, we got a question here. That's true. That's Josh asked, do you shore the tunnels? Sounds dangerous.
Yeah, there is some safety. You got to use some confined space equipment that we use down in there. So we're blowing air. You have air monitors. The soil here is just different, man. It's almost like a clay type material. It won't collapse. When you pull a shovel of dirt out of the soil, it comes out in a big chunk about the size of a bowling ball. It's real hard to recompact, but it's a real clay material, and it's pretty secure in there. I thought people were crazy the first time I saw it. I didn't want to jump in, and then you get comfortable, and you learn how to crawl through these tunnels. You put on fishing waders, because if they're full of sewage, because you do the same thing for sewer lines.
Yeah.
You put on fishing waders and you go to work, man. So.
Well, I guess they don't call it the big D for nothing. I mean, you boys are getting her done. All right, man.
Big, yeah.
All right, Chris has something snarky to ask here. How's Andrew Luck doing? All right, I know. Okay. All right, that's right. Okay, I got you. Okay. Hey, man, what has you fired up about our industry, the plumbing industry?
Man, I'll tell you what. Most of the country went through a boom, right, in 2003, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm super pumped up that those houses are all now starting to be dumped into the service market. So, in areas that boomed, if you are not marketing heavily in those areas, you're missing the boat, man. There's those water heaters are now starting to be replaced. Those toilets are having issues. Most people hate the volume builders fixtures that were installed, and there's those 3 or 4 things that every customer hates about those big tract homes, if you will.
Right.
All those houses are being dumped into our service market right now, and there's a huge opportunity where we're really zoning in our marketing into those areas strategically for, like was just posted, tankless, right?
Right.
Water heater replacement. All those things right now, marketing is super easy right now. If you can't survive with marketing in this industry today, you're just missing the boat, man. You can really target your marketing and narrow it down to specific areas for specific jobs, and it's easy.
Oh man, you ain't kidding. I'm old school. We come from the old times. There used to be this thing called the Yellow Pages.
I think I heard
this big book or whatever. And we come from those prehistoric times.
$18,000 for 2 pages.
You got it right on the head. Oh, man. You know how many toilet repairs you had to do just to pay for that? I mean, it was crazy. But you're so right, man. I hope you young guns are listening, or even you guys that are looking to do your thing. And it's so right. It's just you just gotta learn the process, learn how to do it, and it's just a process, and the opportunity is there. Around here, we call it the 10-year plumbing curse, and you hit it nail on the head. All those tract homes, all that stuff is going bad. And, in 30 years of being around this, by the way, I kind of say this all the time. My wife already knows where I'm going. Because I always say, no one wakes up in the morning and wants to call a plumber. We're not delivering pizzas or flowers. And so when I hear you say it's easy, it is easy, but you're going to get into the customers are going to say no, that kind of stuff, but they need and want to get it done. And it's just a matter of learning how to communicate with them. And so
it's a huge opportunity right now for us. I mean, there was about 80,000 homes built in my market in that 3 years. So it's just a market on top of all the water heaters and service recalls that were already available. You're dumping another 100,000 homes into the market. It's huge, man.
Right.
Hire a marketing coach, because most plumbers aren't good at marketing. So hire a marketing coach and zone in, target your markets, find 2 or 3 things that are in that area, and you will do well.
Yeah, that's it. It is that simple. Hey, we got a question here for you. How are you finding good Texas plumbers?
Well, we have licensing laws here, so it's really hard. We do, we're doing a lot of things different than our competition. For one, we're apprenticeships. Everybody's got to start some sort of an apprenticeship program. You have to.
Yeah. That's so true. There we go.
It's easier to find, and I read on a lot of these social media pages that, how do you find good apprentices, man? I'll tell you what. I managed a company in Phoenix. We had 73 plumbers when I left in December. We were doing about $26 million in plumbing and water treatment. I had rotating 5 apprentices throughout the year, every year. We were rotating them in and out. I never left with less than 5 apprentices. If one graduated and became a service plumber, we hired another one. So that's one thing. That's expensive though. So the small guys can't really do that. But you really need to be doing something different. I see these $5,000-$6,000 sign-on bonuses people are offering. I've seen $10,000 in my market. I'm not a fan of it. I hired 5 guys in 2 months and a salesman, and I didn't pay not one of them a sign-on bonus. You got to be different. I mean, you got to be a place that people want to work. One of the things that we've got some resources with our new construction side, but we're building a breakfast bar outside of our facility. And all of our subcontractors and all of our employees are going to be able to eat breakfast Monday through Friday for free. We've already hired a cook. Permits have been submitted. And, this just trying to do something different than everybody else is doing. It's really what it boils down to. But they got to trust you. You got to trust you as a manager, as an owner. If they don't trust you, it doesn't matter how much you pay them. They're not coming over. Do what you say you're going to do. Follow through what you say you're going to do. Be that place that people want to work. give good health benefits. But it's a long process, man. Recruiting is a full-time job. Those bigger companies have full-time recruiters. So if you're a 2 or 3 truck company, you're going up against somebody that you're recruiting 2 or 3 hours a day. Somebody else is doing it 12. So you've got to find a different angle, in my opinion.
Man, you're so right. Hey guys, I hope you just got schooled right there. Find the word. You're so right, man. You got to find a different angle, and it's not hard. On all these sites here, we hear the same thing. That's the big concern. How do I find good guys? Well, first of all, you got to know what kind of guy you're looking for. If you're just looking to hire a warm body, which we've all been there. You get in that kind of desperate situation, you feel desperate, and that's one of the worst mistakes you could ever make. Then you try to you try to buy the talent. Well, that doesn't work. That doesn't work either. You have to grow it within. You got to create an environment. We were talking with guys, and this is, I guess this is, my thing is I have a love for the small guys, and quite frankly, 98% of all plumbing companies are the, mom and pop shops. I mean, that's what they are. And so my heart goes there. I get it. That's where I came from. I came from the kitchen table. We started from the kitchen table. Isn't that right, sweetheart? We did. All right. And we grew it into something pretty big. And, you ride that ride and, so get that. And it's been that way forever. It's never going to change. We can talk about millennials and, there's a different way of communicating and blah, blah, blah. But it's always been the same story. You got to find, Dave, just like, or Mark, rather, what you just said about, making it want to work for you and trust you in an environment. A small shop can't afford to put in a breakfast bar. That's a cool thing. Like that,
No, they can, but there's a lot of things they can do,
Right.
It boils down to money. If your pricing's right, you can afford to do little things that are important to the guys. I mean, I've worked in big shops. We had over 300 service technicians at my last company in Phoenix. Yeah. And a small percentage of them, did health benefits and 401k and that stuff. The majority didn't do it. Right. Although it was available to them, they care more about the little things than they do about those big things. So at the end of the day, a small company can afford to do those little things if you're just pricing your services right.
There we go. And that's what you hit on. That's what I'm kind of jumping at the bit there, the whole, pricing your services correctly. And it goes back to what you mentioned earlier about, most guys are just charging for the, 30% of the time that they're doing the work. Right. You got to figure these kind of expenses into your pricing, and you do that. You can get it. You can afford these guys. You can have bring an apprentice on that you're paying them hourly. That's not able to do everything, but you're working them into your system and that kind of a thing.
Absolutely.
And so, all right, man. Hey, man, good stuff there, man. I hope you guys are listening. This is a good one. So. Hey, appreciate it. Hey, we're going to give you get ready to come back for the lightning round, okay?
Okay.
We're give you a little break here, and I'm going to talk to guys here just a quick moment here. Hey, this is great. There's great stuff here. Look, it comes down to this. You can either continue to do things the way you're doing it and just kind of hoping and praying or just kind of blood, sweating and tearing it, or just fighting it, making it, trying to make it happen. And, spending, all the extra money and the lost time and, going through those kinds of hassles, or you can bring someone on. I believe even, I believe Mark even mentioned, having a coach, someone else who's been there. Well, that's what I do. We'll get to the bottom line here. That's what I do here. I've been in the industry for 30 years. As I mentioned, I started my business literally from the kitchen table and grew it into a rather big operation and sold it for a lot of money. Didn't we, sweetheart? and now we just have a heart. We have a heart for just the smaller shops that want to do the same kind of thing. But look, there's just you can save yourself a lot of pain by bringing on a coach. Even someone like a Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, used coaches. Tiger Woods, you name the pros, and the top business people use coaches. All right. So I've opened up slots into my private coaching. And if you're looking to, you want to bypass those years of pain and frustration, and looking to just kind of get ahead on things. It's not rocket science, but you you need to learn it. All right. Simply type 15 in the comments. That's number 1515, and I'll get the information to you. We'll set up a free 15-minute consultation, have a conversation, and see if we're we're meant to hook up. All right. And just have nothing scary. We'll just find out where you're at, where you want to go, and what we can do about it. All right. So there you go. Type 15 in the comments, and we'll get you set up for your 15-minute free consultation. All right. Hey, guys, let's bring Mark back on. All right. Hey, Mark, you ready? I gave you enough time.
Ready.
There was probably more than 30 seconds there. I got on a little bit of a ramble, but you ready for the lightning round?
I am.
All right, man. Here we go. I'll start off easy for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Residential or commercial?
Residential.
Yeah, that's right, brother. Even though it sounds like you really have a strong commercial side going. Not commercial, but it's new construction or whatever. You do some.
It's all residential still, though. But there's a certain sense of accomplishment at the end of the day when you go home and that homeowner that their day was ruined when they woke up and you just somehow made it better. I know. It's a good feeling. So
that is a good fit. That's what I hear all over, literally all over the world. I mean, it is that thing, that feeling about service, is just how the homeowner feels, even though they weren't so happy necessarily to see you or really want you in the morning or whatever. But at the end of the day, you got it taken care of. All right, let's move on here. Solder fitting or shark bite?
I think they both have their application in the industry. I'm a solder guy personally, but I've found honestly that shark bite's a great fitting if it's applied right. The problem is most of the time it's not installed properly. But we carry shark bites on our truck for emergency repairs. Just so we try not to use a long-term fix.
I know.
It's part of our inventory.
I know it is a good emergency fix if it's done correctly, and I have it in there just because it is kind of that one of those questions that kind of guys have an opinion about either way, kind of strong. So it's kind of a fun one there. All right, I think I know.
No, they do.
Crawl space or slab?
Man, I like slab. That's where it creates a lot of money opportunities. So crawl space is too easy to fix.
I got you, man. Hey, all right, here. This is an important one. Gladiator or Braveheart?
Yeah, I think we talked a little bit about this earlier. Man, I'm not a movie guy, so I went with Gladiator for one reason. And what's that?
What is that? For what reason?
So I went with Gladiator for one reason. And the only reason, I got to be honest, is because it grossed over $20 million more than Braveheart did. So I'm a revenue guy, so I went with revenue. It has to be better, right?
That's right. There we go. There's some proof there that it's not just all about plumbing. It's the plumbing business, too. The business side is very important. All right. Very good.
I've honestly never seen both movies, but I did do my homework.
All right, man. Well, it's a good. Hey, we're here to get to know you. What are you into? You're not into movies or whatever. What do you like to do when you're not saving Dallas?
Well, I mean, when in Arizona, there's a lot of outdoor stuff to do. So we did a lot of off-roading stuff, went to the sand dunes in California, and my family, we camp a lot. And we just do
cool
sports. My daughter's pretty heavy into competitive cheer, so we travel all over the country
doing
cheer. And so that's pretty much our life. We have one daughter, she's 13, and I think our life revolves around cheer now.
We get that. Okay, I know where you're at. Okay, you're right. Yeah, I know where you're at. Yeah. All right. You are concerned about revenue. If you're paying for cheer and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right. Exactly. Gotcha. We're on the same page.
Yep, we're there. All right, man. Hey, Milwaukee or DeWalt?
I like Milwaukee. I think they've put a pretty good footprint into the industry. It's just only for that reason, to be honest with you. I think they're both great products, but I think Milwaukee's doing a much better job of, marketing and putting their footprint down right now. That's what it seems like.
Yep. I hear you. All right. Adjustable wrench or channel locks?
And channel locks is pretty much that's the go-to tool, it seems like, in the toolbox at least.
Yep. That's what was always in my back pocket. All right, here we go. General or rigid?
We're using rigid right now. It seems to be a good product. I inherited what they already had on some of the, in the shop. So normally I've been a Spartan or Gorlitz guy, but rigid seems to be a good product. That's what we're rolling out with right now.
All right, man. How much of your, you do much drain work there? Just kind of off the cuff? You do. I said, do you do much drain work? You do much?
Yeah, we try to. I like drain work a lot. I think I said earlier, it's a pretty high margin job. If you can get in the ground, I love drains. Worked at Roto-Rooter for a long time, and just a huge moment. When I was a service tech, commission, you like those high commission jobs. It's all labor. So I got it. That's kind of how I inherited that, honestly.
There we go. Another good nugget of gold there for you guys. All right. Hey, if you had a superpower, what would it be?
Say that again?
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
I would want to fly.
You want to fly? All right.
I've lived in cities. The traffic sucks, man. I want to fly.
Go. All right. We got another brother flyer here. That's mine here. Isn't that right, sweetheart? I'd be flying, All right, man.
Plus, I could increase my efficiency.
There we go. Yeah, get more to the bottom line. All right. I like it. All right. Hey, what's your favorite on-the-job music?
I'm a sport radio. I'm a sports talk radio, so that's always been my deal. I try to keep up with sports, and with busy life, you don't get a whole lot of chance to catch up. So even in the truck, driving around, that's sports talk radio seems to be my go-to.
Okay. There we go. I get it. All right. Hey, what's just kind of more on the change it up a little bit here is what's a good piece of advice? What's the best advice that you've ever received that you like to share with the guys?
I'd started a plumbing company back in 2013, and I was first year in, and my mentor that I actually work for now, good friend and mentor of mine, told me to go get a business coach. And I couldn't understand why. Why would I want to get a business coach? I mean, he's not going to teach me how to plumb. He's not necessarily going to teach me how to do business better. I felt like I had it pretty well under wraps and my pricing right. But what he told me was, Mark, this guy will hold you accountable for your goals. He's like, you're going to get so embedded in running the plumbing company, you're not going to hold yourself accountable for those end of the year goals that you're striving for. You need somebody every week to make sure that you're on track, to make sure that, if you hit a speed bump in the road, what's the fastest way to overcome that? So, I mean, my biggest advice personally is get a business coach that has been there, that specializes in your industry, and he'll hold you accountable for reaching those goals, because nobody else will. As the owner, you don't have anybody to answer to. If you fall short, you won't know that till December, and then it's too late.
Exactly. Well, I'm a little, what's the word, sweetheart? I'm a little, what? Biased? Yeah, I'm a little biased with that, because that's what's on my heart. The second part of my life, that's what I do. So I most certainly agree with you. I think that's great advice. Because as we're talking, I think I even mentioned it here in my little commercial. I've opened up spots in my business coaching and private coaching, and 95% of all plumbing businesses fail within the first 3 years, and it's not because they're not good plumbers, or even when they do the work, they don't have some customers that love them. It's the business side of things. And frankly, we just weren't trained at that, and it's just, and the accountability is a big thing. I talk about that. Look, I tell my clients, and that's what they are, is clients. Look, I'm not your friend. We're going to be friendly, but I'm not your friend. I'm your coach. I'm here, I'm here to look at your game, and we're going to have honest conversations. So, yeah, that's great advice there. But again, I'm a little biased.
No, you are. And I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, it was a game changer for me. I ran that company for 3 years, and I was able to sell it to one of the largest service companies in the country. They saw our fast growth, and they came to me and said, "We want to buy you out." The company wasn't for sale. I actually left that meeting and said, I'm not really that interested, but thanks. I knew the COO of the company for about 15 years. And he had saw that we were using a nationally recognized coaching company, and he liked that about our model. And for the most part, I think that's what attracted him to want to buy us out. So,
Yep. That's some of the things I learned was from a business coach, and it set our company up to have that look and the systems in place, and of course I have. The lovely Laura, my wife over here, we were in the business together, and she was part of all that and set the systems up as well and worked with that. So it does make a difference, and it made a difference for us. And it certainly took our business from the kitchen table to, something that we were able to not only make a very good living off of, but we're able to sell. So yeah.
Yeah, I think people look at it the wrong way. I mean, they look at it as a business coach as a failure. Like, well, I need to get a business coach or I'm not going to survive. And they're not really looking at the real reason why you need a coach. This industry is changing faster than we can keep up with as one person, especially if you're out in the field working. You can't possibly keep up with all the changes in marketing and pricing and, all the dynamics of how this industry changes every week, every month. And the business coach, that's his job to do it. I've found personally that, and I went through this same mindset with myself, was, does this say that I'm going to fail if I don't get a business coach? Am I failing at my business if I don't hire somebody to coach me? It's the wrong mentality, man. There's so many other benefits to having a business coach. You just got to do your homework, find the right one. Right.
It's a personality thing, what works with you. Yep, it's all that kind of a thing. So, man, great advice there. All right, Mark, man, it's been a great Potty Talk Live, man. I appreciate you being on the show.
Hey, I'm happy. It was fun.
I hope you guys were listening up there. Mark had a lot of great advice, some great big nuggets of gold here. And again, we have Mark here as the service manager with Cathedral Plumbing out of the Big D, Dallas, Texas. All right, Mark. Hey, again, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, and hang in there, down there, and look forward to speaking with you again sometime. All right, man?
All right, talk to you soon, man.
All right. Take care. All right, hey, there we go. Mr. Mark Carrasco of Cathedral Plumbing. All right, man, a lot of great information there for you guys. All right, so, hey, if you'd love to be on Potty Talk Live, I'd love to have you on Potty Talk Live too. All right. Love to have you on the show here. Get to know you, have you share your nuggets of gold. And you see it's a good time here. So it's easy to get on the show here. Only one qualification here. You need to be a plumber, all right, or in the plumbing industry. But simply go to www.pottytalklive.com and click on the Be My Guest link, and answer a couple questions here and follow up with you, and we'll get you on the show, all right? Hey, there we go. Also, hey, I want to get my free report in your hands, all right? 7 Must Knows to Be $1 Million Plumber. All right, simply type free in the comments, and we'll get that out into your hands, all right? Free. It's free, all right? FREE. And would love to get that in your hands. You need to know those 7 must knows. And also, again, a little commercial here. We were talking about business coaching. That's what I do now. And I've opened up some spots and would love to see if, we could work out and do some great things together. All right. I'm offering up a free 15-minute consultation. If you'd like that, interested in just kind of see where that could go and what that's all about. It's nothing scary. Check it out. All right. Business coaching is not for everyone, but for a lot of us, it helped, and it may help you as well. So, but we have a free consultation, and if you'll type in the number 15, that's 15 in the comments, I'll get that information over to you, and we can get you set up for your free 15-minute consultation. There we go. All right, gang, that's about time to flush this episode of Potty Talk Live. All right, so as always, hey, I want you to remember that you were purposefully and wonderfully created, all right? And you were created to do great things. All right, so when you're out there, as always, plumb like a champion. We'll see you next time.